Hi everybody and welcome to Kevin's Upfront Opinion. Now, I thought I'd do this video today because I've been considering doing it for a week or two. Because recently I put a video up about is Keir Starmer destroying the Labour Party? And I had this gentleman who sent me a message saying, didn't Tony Blair do that? And I thought about it. And there'll be people out there that would say, yes, he did. And then there'll be other people who say, he saved the Labour Party. Now, I'm on the fence of both sides of it. Because if you take, for instance, historically, what do the Labour Party stand for? The Labour Party are the party that are supposed to support the working man. That's why they've always been supported by the trade unions. You know. And at the time when he came into power, the Labour Party were nowhere near ever coming into power because they were way too far to the left, which made them hard to be electable. That's why John Major managed to turn the country round at the time when he won election, because he wasn't expected for him to win election. And that's why Tony Blair knew he had to come to the centre. He had to. He had no choice but to try and take the Labour Party to the centre ground and turn them into a populist party. Which there's nothing wrong with being a populist. And I know people think that's an awful term because people think of like Donald Trump being a populist. It's what gets thrown at him. And what you've got to remember, populist just means you're popular. And that's why he got celebrities, musicians, sports stars, all of those types of people getting involved with the Labour Party at the time. Which is no different to what Keir Starmer did. It's basically taking Tony Blair's playbook, but done it a damn sight worse. So, if you take that, Tony Blair never destroyed the Labour Party. Where there is a problem, and if you look at Tony Blair's record whilst he was in power. Now, the good things that he did, which every party that ever takes government, whether it's Conservative, Labour, you could even look at the Lib Dems when they were in coalition. What did he do? He excelled on schools, invested massively in schools, rebuilding programs. Schools did way better when Tony Blair was in power. So, big tick. NHS waiting lists came straight down. Big tick. The economy, depends what way you want to look at it, because the economy was changing towards the end of the Conservative stay in power under John Major. Okay. But they carried that on. So, yet again, big tick. Now, where can you slate Tony Blair's Labour Party? Well, there's three things that you can slate him for. One is sleaze, because there was a lot of sleaze at the time, even under even under Tony Blair. So that's one big problem he had. But the big elephant in the room, that's always going to be held against him, is Iraq and Afghanistan. They're the two big things that are going to be held against them, because there are going to be still people to this day who are going to say it was an illegal war, he shouldn't have gone in. He was too close to America. And if he hadn't done that, that wouldn't have destroyed him. And the third thing, and the final thing, which I actually forgot about, which is something that still haunts us to this day, a lot of people would complain about. And that is close ties to Europe, because he got closer, signed the treaties to create open door immigration from Europe to the UK, which we're still fundamentally suffering from, and people up and down the country, no matter what party you support, what background you come from, people are going to complain about the amount of immigration that's coming through to the UK. And no matter how much money we throw at France to try and stop it, it still happens. So, if you take that all into account, if I was to take them 3 crosses away from Tony Blair, them 3 notches on him, I think potentially he would have gone down as one of the greatest prime ministers in peacetime. And I'd put him up there with Margaret Thatcher. I'd put Margaret Thatcher number 1, and I appreciate, I'm going to better get a lot of hate from people, you know, absolutely cursing me for saying Margaret Thatcher. But she did always stand up for the country and always did what she felt was the right thing. Some things you could say maybe weren't the right thing, but she always did what she felt was the right thing. And if you took those away, I would suggest you could argue over which one was 1 and 2 on those 2. But because of the war, and because of what he did to do with Europe, I would suggest that's going to tarnish him. And there is an argument that he started the destruction of the Labour Party. Not intentionally. So people may have a point. I wouldn't entirely agree with it personally. I would suggest the destruction of the Labour Party actually started under Gordon Brown, unfortunately, as the party started to go away. But Keir Starmer's had enough time to sort the party out. But I always said this was the wrong election for him to win anyway. He would have been better off losing this party and getting rid of a lot of the people to the left of the party because of where he wanted to go. Because it's been, I don't even think he even really runs the party, to be honest. And I know people may disagree with that. You know, when you've got people like Angela Rayner and everybody, they're the people that really run the party. Keir Starmer doesn't. You know, so let us know what you think. Who do you think is the destroyer of the Labour Party? If you think it is being destroyed, do you think it was under Tony Blair, under Gordon Brown, or do you think it might be one of the other leaders that's led it on its path to where it is nowadays? So let us know in the comments down below. But for now, thanks for listening. Please do share, like, and put comments as well. Please put some nice comments rather than a lot of the hate that I've had recently. But other than that, thanks for now, and I'll speak to you again a bit later.